So today I want to review this book with you guys. It's The Millionaire Next Door. I recommend this book for anybody who's into financial literacy, or honestly, anybody who's not. There's a lot of misconceptions about millionaires, and this book will actually break that down for you. It's filled with a bunch of statistics, and these people here, they break down their research and everything. Awesome book. It's not really one of the more talked about financial books out there, like you have Rich Dad Poor Dad and all these other books that kind of gain traction in the investment world. But for like the everyday person, this is a great book. I honestly wish I would have read this when I was between like 16 and 20 years old, because these are probably the people that need it most. And especially in today's culture, when you have people kind of like talking about like millionaires, and they all have these misconceptions that are ultimately just not true, factually incorrect. Like I was on Facebook the other day, and people were talking about like how most wealthy people, basically like all of them, the majority of them, get their money through inheritance, which couldn't be farther from the truth. I think it's like the book breaks it down. It's somewhere between the ballpark of like 90% of like millionaires are actually self-made. So this whole, and it's backed up by research too. So I think these people, like, they went around and they did research on like, I think it was like 10,000 millionaires. And there's a follow-up book to this too, which is like they studied deca millionaires, so people with a net worth of 10 million and above, and they basically break down their behaviors and all of that. So it basically ultimately comes down to millionaires, your everyday millionaire. They live as if they were broke, while broke people are living as if they were rich. So it's a typical example of that, and you could basically see how they behave, how they handle money, and all of that is completely different than from people in the lower class. So this book, if a lot of people read this book in today's society and actually understood it, their entire perception and worldview will completely shift. So this is a great book. I get this even if you wanted to gift it to somebody who basically has this idea that, like, again, like millionaires are evil or something like that, like they rigged the system or anything like that. Like, really, there's no, I mean, the system's obviously rigged, but there's ways to beat the game. Essentially, it's just the game, and millionaires understand the game, while us people do not. So I would buy this as a gift to somebody who is always being a negative Nancy about like money and stuff like that, or to give it to somebody who's young, like in their late teens, who is about to get out into the real world. Great book to have in the house, great book to read. I'm a little bit more than halfway through it, but I would totally recommend this to anybody who's living in the real world, or who wants to have an understanding of the real world, like how things really are. Because all these ideas that people have about just money in general, they couldn't be so far from the truth.